What up, media? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ann-Adeva and I am black. If you sing that intro with me, I'm so happy that you are here because honestly, I love you so much. I love singing that intro when I'm watching my videos back. So I hope you guys love to sing that intro with me because it honestly eats, okay? So this week, somebody asked me a question, and that question honestly has just changed my whole philosophy of life. When Oprah used to talk about like that aha moment on her show, I felt like I just had my aha moment this weekend, and I can tell you why, okay? So the question was, what is one thing you would do differently in your life if you knew that it could change your life forever, right? Or improve your life forever. And my question was like, so my answer was so fast. I knew exactly what I needed to say. And my answer was waking up earlier. And I was basically saying like, if I could just wake up at 5 a.m., I would have so much time to get everything done that I need to do, because I genuinely do have a lot of things that I have to get done. The first thing I need to get done is my visa. The second thing I need to get done is my PhD proposal. The third thing I need to get done is my plans for next year. So if I am planning to stay in Germany, I have to find a place to stay, all those things, right? So I have to actually be doing things right now that I'm not doing. And I felt like if I had more time, even just waking up at 6, 5 is even extreme. 6 a.m., I'll have like at least 2 hours free of the day that I can spend on these things. And for example, the visa takes 90 minutes to do the application. So if I woke up at 5 just one day, I can do the visa before work. Or if I wake up at 5 just one day, I can go to the gym before I go to work, which is the reason why I joined a more expensive gym. And I'm still not doing those things. And after answering my question, I think we went on with the conversation, and then I just stopped and I said, it's funny how we know what we need to do and we don't do the things that we need to do. We know exactly what we need to do, and not even just doing, but what we need to consume, who we need to talk to, where we need to live. We have all the questions to our lives and we just don't do it. And my question to myself was like, why am I not waking up earlier? Why am I not allocating time to the things that I feel like are important to me right now? On my off days, the last few weeks, as you can gather, my consistency on YouTube has gone low, but I've been inconsistent generally because I've not been feeling mentally in the mood to make videos. But it's not necessarily about being in the mood to make videos. It's because I'm not taking the time to fix everything else in my life to create the mood to make videos. So back then, I was really organized. I had my schedules, I had my plans, everything. Even though I wasn't doing a job that I liked, my life was in order, so to say. And because my life was kind of in order, I was able to allocate more time to the things I find interesting. And to add to that answer, I also felt like recently, because I was talking to my husband, I don't know if you guys saw my TikTok where I said like, this is a day 700 of me hinting at wanting a baby type vibe. And I spoke to my husband, and my husband was like, I think we need to take some time. We need to take a few years before we start making kids. And then I thought, you know what? You only live one life. Like, okay, let's say I have time before I have kids right now. Why am I not making the most out of my life? Why am I not eating the best that I can, sleeping the best that I can, talking to people that make me feel the best that I do, going places that make me feel the best? Why am I not doing those things? Why am I not prioritizing traveling? Why am I not prioritizing things that actually make me happy? I've been saying for the longest time I want to learn Portuguese. Why am I not putting effort into learning Portuguese? Why have we normalized mediocrity and being comfortable? And also not just being comfortable and normalizing mediocrity, it's more about being so complacent and okay with being in your comfort zone. And this is also the problem that I feel like I have when I make new friends, because I feel like people are attracted to me, or like they gravitate towards me because I look like such a fun, approachable, easygoing person. And once they do get to know me, they realize I'm actually really serious about a lot of things. I'm serious about my goals. I'm serious about my habits. I'm serious about my intentions. Like I said, I'm serious about saving money last year. And I've not gone to any event that I felt like wasn't a good use of my money. And I've been very explicit about that. Even this weekend, I was like, I'm not going to overspend. This is my plan. This is what I'm going to do. And that's what I did the whole weekend. And I just feel like once people reach that point of getting to know me, it's like they get turned off. Then I don't have friends anymore, or they stop calling me, or whatever it may be. But I feel like that's also one of the reasons. And it's really frustrating to align myself with people that I feel like have so much potential, and they just like sit on it. They just sit on all the potential, they sit on all the greatness, because I feel like we've normalized being so below the radar and not being aggressive and like being intentional and passionate about the things that we want, that we just let things go. Opportunities come, we just let them go. Opportunities come, we just let them pass us, you know. It was really a crazy revelation. And since then I've been waking up early every single day. I even recorded this video because I was like, I'm not going to sleep on myself anymore. Because another thing that I watched, Judge Judy, she was on a podcast and she said people are easy to believe if they believe in themselves. People are easy to believe if they believe in what they are saying to you, or if they believe in what they are doing. So it's very easy to believe in those people because they are doing it to themselves or for themselves or about themselves. And I felt like if I want all these things, if I want so many people to subscribe to my channel, if I want so many people to listen to me talk, if I want to share my ideas with so many people, then I need to believe that my ideas are worth sharing, and I need to believe that my platform is worth existing, and I need to believe that I will find the people that I've been yearning to find in life who share my ideas or can expand, if not oppose them. You know what I mean? Yeah. I also realized that when you are disciplined, or when you start to create a routine for yourself, you need to be able to set boundaries for yourself and for others. So let's say you set the boundary that you want to start working out more and you want to be focused on your health. If you decide to set the boundary that you are no longer going to be drinking alcohol, for example, a friend of mine was saying that they want to stop gardening because they feel like if they stop gardening, their life, what is the word? Their standard of life will increase exponentially because they'll be able to focus on more things, work out, eat better, you know, just like live a generally healthier life. And if you know that you need to do those things, you need to set boundaries. And not only setting the boundaries, I feel like setting a boundary is easy. Setting a boundary is like saying, I don't want to go to the club anymore. That's a boundary that you can set. But sticking to that boundary includes you saying no every time people invite you to the club. It includes you saying, hey, I would love to spend time with you, but I don't feel like a club is a way for me to do that. I would rather we go out to eat, or we go to a movie, or we go to an event, or we do an activity together. If you do that, that's you like maintaining the boundary that you've enforced. And I feel like I'm also a victim of this. I'm very quick to set boundaries. I'm very quick. Even I made the video last time when I said there are things I want to stop doing before I turn 30. It's very easy for me to say the things that I've said in that video, but when the opportunities present themselves, am I going to stand on business or am I going to flake? So an example of this is, remember in my video that I said I'm no longer going to be prioritizing white people's feelings. And an incident happened this week, and I'm so proud of myself because I didn't prioritize their feelings. I spoke up for myself. And of course, the conversation didn't go in an enlightening route, if I can say it that way. But I still managed to say exactly what I wanted to say. I didn't spare that person's feelings at all. So what happened was, this person was like, oh my gosh, I love your hair. I said, thank you. And they were like, is it your hair? I said, no, it's extensions. And then she was like, oh, okay, really beautiful. So she comes around the table, and I know that her intention is to touch my hair, but I'm like, I don't want to say it preemptively. And then she says, no, I wasn't going to touch your hair. I just wanted to look at it. Because people like to do that. They like to gaslight. Okay, so I'm like waiting, you know. And then the moment as she reaches for my hair, I say, touching, you're not allowed to touch my hair. And she says, why? And I say, because it's racist. And then she goes, what? And I say, yes. And then she's like, and then she walks past me. She turns around and she goes, but I'm not a racist. And I said, I never said you were a racist. I said, doing what you wanted to do is racist. And she's like, and I'm like, yes. And she's like, then she walks, she turns around again. And she's like, could you explain to me why me touching your hair is racist? Then I said, I think you can inform yourself. It's not my job to inform you on why certain things are racist and not racist. It's my job to just like you exist. Hey! I was like, Ann-Adeva is Jason, what's up, friend? And she said, okay. Then she continued walking, and only then she was like, well, I apologize for offending you. I was not trying to offend you. I genuinely just wanted to touch your hair to let you know that I think it's beautiful. And I said, I feel like your compliment was enough. And as I said, you can inform yourself on why it is not okay to touch my hair. So anyways, we continued. We had the rest of the day. She never took the time to inform herself on why it's racist to touch my hair. I didn't care for it. I said what I needed to say and I moved on. I felt like I was in that scene of Law and Order when the lady tried to touch Annalise Keating's hair and she said, "What are you doing?" And I was like, yeah. When I watched that scene, I was like, you know what, this is exactly how I need to start reacting from now on. But I'm glad that I stood up for myself. But remember, in the video, it's easy for me to sit on my camera and just say, I'm not gonna protect anybody's feelings anymore. And then the time comes and then I'm doing what? Protecting their feelings. But I said, no. I'm gonna stand on business 10 toes down and I'm gonna tell her what it is. It's one thing to set a boundary, it's another thing to enforce it. And also, to add to that boundaries, discipline is freedom. It's also what I'm learning of late. Let's say I decided I don't want to drink alcohol anymore, right? The reasons for me not drinking alcohol, despite the fact that it's extremely deteriorating to my health, that should be alone enough reason for you not to drink alcohol. The same alcohol they put in hand sanitizers and medical products is the same alcohol they put in their drinks. Okay? I'm joking, it's not, but I'm just saying. But you get what I mean. So this, aside from that, right, my other reason was the time that alcohol, like that consuming alcohol takes from me. Let's say I went out on Friday night. I go out, I have some drinks. I sleep Friday, I wake up so late Saturday. I'm in such a bad mood the next day. I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling nervous. I'm thinking about how I behaved yesterday, how many people I spoke to, things that I didn't like that I did or said, if I made my friends uncomfortable. I'm thinking about all those things. And then I'm tired also. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to clean up. I don't want to do my laundry. I literally lose a whole day recovering from consuming alcohol the day before. Okay, so I felt like that's one of the reasons why I don't want to drink, because again, discipline is freedom. Now I'm not free anymore because I can't be in control, or I can't discipline myself not to consume the thing that is taking time from my life. Do you get my chat? So I feel like it's also affecting even my ability to see progress in my fitness journey, because alcohol inhibits the growth of muscles, or it slows it down. So your body, the blood thins, so you are unable to like build muscle at a rate you would have if you were not consuming alcohol. If you were eating healthy, sleeping enough, drinking enough water, you know, alcohol also dehydrates you. It affects your brain chemicals. It affects a lot of things, hey? And it's like also something that you have to remove the pressure that's going to come externally from you trying to improve your state of life. There's a lot of pressure that comes when you decide you're not going to drink alcohol anymore. People are going to keep asking you, oh, why don't you drink? Or some people are going to ask you, do you have a drinking problem? Or you basically just feel like you can't handle this thing, right? So you keep drinking to prove to yourself and to other people that you can handle it, or you don't want to kill other people's vibes, but the most important person in your life should be you. So you should not be so concerned with killing the vibe for other people. When I went out with another friend of mine, I remember telling her that, like, you know, I told you I only wanted to drink one bottle of wine. So when you asked me to get the second bottle of wine, I kind of felt like, okay, now I don't want to ruin the vibe for you, because I already stated my boundary. Do you understand? I stated the boundary when I said only when I have one bottle of wine. So when she said, let's get another bottle, it was my responsibility to say, no, but I told you I just wanted to have one bottle. But then I started feeling the external pressure and I was like, let me just go get another bottle. And it didn't turn out great. But at the end of the day, it's another lesson that I had to learn, and it was another opportunity or a test from life for me to do what I said I was going to do. Now I'm slowly getting into the rhythm or into the flow of having this discipline over myself and over my life. And yeah, now I want to pose you the same question. What is one thing you feel like if you started doing will change the quality of your life? Thank you so much for watching this video. Play veilig raakwees and pas jou op. See you in the next one. Ciao.